sincerely place my thanks for you to accept this on a very short notice, in spite of you still being at office. I can see that you're in office. You're in your
Yes.
normal attire. So we'll start the session now, sir, without any delay, because we're going to
Please.
have it very short and sweet.
Please.
Sir, Mr. Charles, who is
Yes.
he, and tell us more about him.
Yeah, my career in the hotel industry, my name is D. Charles Fabian, and my career in the hotel industry is around 39 years. I have started my career as an apprentice with the Taj Group of Hotels. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
As an apprentice in the food and beverage department in the year 1981, and I was with the Taj for 15 years. And then I did my diploma in hotel management through Annamalai University. And I was with the Taj group for almost 15 years. I have traveled abroad through the Taj. I did my training in Taj Palace, Delhi, as well as the Taj in Bombay. So after 15 years, I came out of the Taj group and I happened to join the Palace Inn Hotel in Bahrain, which belongs to the French group. And later I spent 4 years. I came back in 2003 to Chennai. And since then, I joined the Residency group of hotels. I joined as a food and beverage manager. And later, I was promoted as a general manager of the Residency GN Chetty Road, which is the 112 room property with the F&B outlets. And then later, I was promoted as general manager to the Residency Towers, which is the flagship property of the group. And in 2018, after this hotel in Coimbatore was totally renovated, the landmark property of Kowai, the management decided to promote me as director of operations and sent me over here to manage this property. And since then, I'm in Kowai. I love Kowai, and I like all the people over here because when I left Chennai and came to Kowai, my first thing is I called a very good friend of mine who's director and actor, Mr. Parthiban. And I told him, சார் என்ன கோவைக்கு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னாரு. அப்போ சொன்னார் அவரு, இந்தியாவிலேயே மரியாதை தெரிஞ்ச ஜனங்க வசிக்கிற இடத்துக்கு நீங்க போறீங்க, ரொம்ப சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருப்பீங்க, and I wish you all the best அப்படின்னாரு. And in the last 2 years, I have really experienced that. And the first year in 18-19 was because we relaunched the hotel after closing it for renovation. I mean, closing in the sense, closing many areas for renovation, and then we opened. We wanted to position our hotel in the city as number one, and so it was time for us to present our hotel. And 2018 and 19 was a very challenging year, and 2019 and 20 was a fantastic year for us. In fact, I must tell that it's a time that we actually grew many folds up in terms of positioning our property. And among all the hotels in Coimbatore, as far as the Smith Travel Report says, we are number one in occupancy and number one in RevPAR. So that is against the number of rooms that we have. And we have penetrated the market to about 139% as far as our occupancy compared to the earlier days, that is the time when we relaunched the property. And we had seen 13.75% growth and for this year, and finally the 15 days of March, actually, it did not make us reach the target that we set. But nevertheless, and now we are into a very challenging period, a learning period, and a period which has not seen over, I must say, for over 100 years. So it's a new experience for us to meet this challenging period. I think we have come across after so many days of lockdown. Earlier lockdown was, everybody took it as a very difficult task to go through, but there were so many things that was running in the minds of people. But I've been talking to many of people today. Everybody has accepted the lockdown. And in fact, they would like to stay in this lockdown for a certain period, because now opening up and again getting infected will actually leave the entire exercise into a failure. So whatever we have done, I think we have come up to 75%, staying another 25% away from this communal infection. I think would definitely be a very successful at the moment. The whole entire world is looking at how what is that is going right with Indians, that they are not being so badly affected like us. So it has become an envy of the many other countries in the globe. That is what is at the present moment.
Okay, so I just also want, because residency has always been the most preferable joint for us, and we still have the old residency which we have seen for the past so many years, and the kind of facilities. What is the upgrade done in terms of facilities, and can you please show some more, throw some more details on the upgrade, and what are the additional things which have topped up in residency?
I must put it in a nutshell that the residency underwent a renovation, and when we went into the renovation from what kind of a design that we had 23 years back, and then 2 decades back, and then we came back 21 years back, and now we just completed 23. So in this, what actually went into our, first of all, into our designing. Our designing became a little contemporary. That was one. Second is we started lavishly putting in quite a lot of marbles and granites. And we have come up with a new venue, which is the terrace, which was not there, which is 6,000 square feet terrace, which is not there anywhere in Coimbatore. And our buffet counters are being very beautifully designed under a pergola with the cold counters and hot counters. So that is an added attraction to the residency, which was not there in terms of a venue. And then in our usual ballroom has been totally renovated with an extra space outside for dining, and there is a separate entrance for it. And our 3 halls, which we had on top, has now become interlinked, so that could be opened up. Earlier it was separately there, and now it can be opened up into one large hall of 4,500 square feet with the built-in buffet counter as far as the banqueting is concerned. And then, of course, all the other areas, the Chin Chin is the talk of the town. And I must tell you, since you know that I'm in the hotel, our hotel is in operation. We were taking care of 54 stranded guests, out of which 24 stayed with us for almost 2 weeks, and then they left because there was a chartered flight they from Goa, so they left from here to Goa. And still we have another 24, 25 of them staying with us, and we have been catering to them breakfast, lunch, dinner, and laundry services. And not only that, we are also doing a lot of takeaway orders. Our takeaway orders, there is an average of 35 to 40,000 every day, which is including cakes. And we normally send the cakes to all our clients who have been in our business, giving us business for the last 20, 23 years on their birthdays, which I still continue doing it as a courtesy. During this period, they really get a kind of a wow feeling that even at this point of a time, residency is remembering our birthdays and special days. I've got a pass, special pass for my driver to commute during this period. And that is what we are doing in, and I'm here.
And what about your rooms, sir? Can you just throw some highlight on your rooms and the interiors, which has been renovated and it looks fine? So
yes, the total
how many rooms do you have? And
we have 135 rooms, and out of which they are to the 3 different categories. Besides one presidential suite, which we have suite rooms, which are 7 rooms, and then we have 31. We have executive floor, and then we also have these standard rooms out of 135 and 1 presidential suite. Now, our rooms are totally carpet free, and they have been made with engineered wooden flooring for better hygiene purpose. and all our rooms are connected. We have a large television in the room, and we have a mini bar in all the rooms, safety lockers which we have, and quite spacious room. Almost 290 square feet is the size of our room. I'm talking about the standard rooms. So basic amenities are all there, and our unique special offer that we give is the 24 hours check-in check-out, which we still follow.
Okay. Sir, one more question about your organization. Um, I think you have had a very long tenure, and what makes you still going on and sticking on with Residency? And what do you think, as a group, as an entity, is something which is really looked forward by many people as Appasamy Group compared to XYZ?
One is we have a few core values in our hotel, and one of the topmost core value is care, and it is being practiced. It is something that you say, practice what you preach. So it is being practiced from the top to the bottom, and that has given us the comfort level to be working with the Residency group of hotel, having a long tenure. Not only me, there are many of them are there in the hotel, in the group, and I mean, it's like a home for us, and that is the main attraction for us to stay back, because money and growth and all that is secondary. We feel that where do you get respect, empowerment, and the support from the management is what we all look at as general managers. We all look at, and not only me, many others also look at that as the priority.
Okay. Now, a personal question about you. I think you have been given an extension also post your retirement. So, how is Mr. Charles, so special? What is the speciality of Mr. Charles in your
I don't know.
perspective? We know.
I must no. Actually, I must tell you, I still can't, and I need to thank my management for doing it. So I don't have anything, because it is a question that my management has to answer. So
Okay.
they must have found something that is that has made them. I don't know. I can't really tell you that.
Okay, I will just take 1 minute off and say from our side of view, we feel that you've been very warm, very cordial, very professional, and beyond all, when as vendors and partners, business partners, you always looked at the success of the other person. Apart from looking at your own interest, you've always been a person who has always wanted the other person to also succeed. I think that's one of your biggest strengths from a third party perspective. So I just wanted to place it on record, Mr. Charles.
Oh, thank you. For that, I still can't remember. There was someone who has briefed me while I was growing, that in business we must not only use your mind, we have to use your heart together, because in business we should always think about a win-win situation, and that is how we need to grow. And we need people all the time. It's not one time. So business is such. So whenever you do a business, use both together and arrive at a point where it is a win-win for both. And that is how it should be. So, well, maybe I had practiced that.
Okay, what are the challenges you're facing during this lockdown from a hotel perspective, and any tips for the other hotels to follow?
See, what we are looking at is, as you know, in any natural calamity that happens in the world, the hospitality and the travel industry will be the first one to recede, and it will be the last one to resurrect. So now, what we are looking at it's a lot of in the first one or 2 weeks, it was a kind of a fear. Attending many webinars, looking at so many messages that are being passed around, and looking at the news, understanding. I mean, slowly that fear has turned into I mean, my personal feeling, and I must also share what we in the industry talk about it is Indians are very strong, and we will bounce back very strongly. That is one. Let us become optimistic towards that. And second is that, see, there is millions and millions of money is being spent by the Indians who go to as a tour and visit European countries and many other foreign countries. Now, if they change and turn towards domestic tourism, if they change, because travel has to happen, we need to go to places. We can't be shut in our four walls all the time or staying in the same city for a longer period. But we need to go, we need to venture out. So if that happens, I must say that our industry, the tourism industry and the hospitality, will at least get some kind of a I may say some breathing or some kind of support. And later, there are newses which is coming out. Now let's take Japan. Now Japan has sent a message to all the business partners to move out of China, and if they do business elsewhere, they would get some kind of a subsidy in their taxes or whatever. So now, like that, there could be many other companies that might be moving out. Now, what I look at it is 25, 30 years or even 40 years back, we were not depending on China for any small things. Let me put it this way. Let's say Tirupur. Now, Tirupur is in an industry which is into garments, right? They now do buttons from zips and buttons and collars. Everything is being imported because they're looking at one is to cut down on the manpower, second is to get cheap material, and third is to have a larger margin of profit. Now, if their attitude changes and if we start giving that, there will be job opportunities in India, and there would be more companies coming in, and the cost and the expenses would be curtailed within our own country itself. Now, if this kind of an attitude is going to be all around, and I'm sure we will be the superpower and we will be the most richest country in the world very soon. That is the thinking that we should have in everything. First is starting with my own industry, which I'm saying is domestic tourism. India is so rich from starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Let us take our own state, Tamil Nadu. Let's take Tamil Nadu. Let us see the number of temples that we have. See, look at the beaches that we have. Look at the hill stations that we have. See, first of all, our own state itself, if our own people itself start moving around, visiting each and every areas that each and every tourist spots that we have, and make sure that the money stays within the country, I am sure that we will be very successful soon, and we will come back out to this challenges and this difficult times very soon.
Okay, so when do you see the situation changing? I know it's a very hypothetical question, but in your perspective and whatever news which you have been going through, when do you think is going to be the changeover, or when do you think this lockdown is going to be removed, and when do you think the business is going to stabilize?
Well, I'm not too sure when the lockdown is going to be over, but I can definitely tell you as soon as the lockdown is going to get over, we are not going to just come out and do extremely good business or something like that. It will, in a phased manner, it will improve. Now, only thing is, I may suggest to all hoteliers that do not panic and do not, just cut down on your rates, and these are the things which we should not do, because once you say that I want to do just business and make sure that I fill up my hotel, if you cut down on your rates, and if you cut down, I mean, compromise on your rates, I might say cut down is fine, but compromising on your rates, then to take it up, it will be very difficult, and you will be landing up with no profits. So one is it will take first 3 months to stabilize, because the revival of the COVID-19 is expected to happen. If you look at what's happening in China, if you look at what's happening in Singapore, Singapore is locked down till 1st of June.
Yeah.
So that's the latest news which I got. So such things will definitely happen. So we need to be a little careful for the next 6 months. So as far as business is concerned, till 21 March, if that's the financial year for many, but many has the financial year from January to December. If that is going to be, let's forget about making big money and making big business during this. It is only you need to make sure that you have enough cash flow. You need to focus on HR. You need to focus on material management and make sure that you cut down on your credits, and that is my opinion, and that is what I would like to always strongly talk about.
Event management has always been uh, 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 a shot in the arm for the hotel industry. They've always contributed a lot of business to the hotel industry, and now, how do you see the partnership, which can take things much forward at a much faster pace? What are
Yes.
your views on that?
Yes. See, both the clients and the hoteliers, or rather say partners, will require the event managers. The event managers play a fantastic role. They have been doing a fantastic job for many, and it takes away all the burden of arranging any functions in this present scenario, in this time of life. So. All that you got to do is now first is how event managers are going to take care of their workers, their sanitization, their safety measures is very, very important. I will definitely look at it, and I'm going to talk to everybody or whoever comes to my thing. I would like to say that your person should be well groomed, your person should be well, sanitized, and he should have the good practices, wearing mask and coming to the hotel when they enter, wash the hands when they enter, and wash their hands when these are the hygiene and best practices. Sanitization is something that is going to be the topmost priority. Now, if you look at it, a person who is now vending fruits on a cart on the road, now you see the person is wearing a mask. Probably he must have learned how to wear a mask only at this point of a time, or this is during this period. So now they also know. And now the citizens, when they go, this morning I was there in one of the petty shops, I might tell you, it's a small shop, where he has all marked a nice ring outside his shop, where to stand and how people should come in and collect. Now, these are all these kind of small gestures and these kind of practices, it has actually percolated down the level. And I am sure that many of us will stick on to this. And coming to your point, I mean, slightly I deviated. Coming to your point, I am sure clients would definitely come to you, come to each and every event managers who are going to be the solution providers. They are the ones who are the solution providers, one point of a contact for everything. And your business will definitely do well. It is only a matter of time, and all that you need to do is to make sure that you train your people or the people whom you work under to have that kind of the best practices that they can do when they come to the public place.
So, what are the possibilities you see for the hotels and the event managers to work more closely in terms of driving business jointly for mutual benefit?
So now what I look at it is the huge big businesses. I mean, in terms of the wedding planners as well as event managers, the huge weddings will not happen for some time. For the next 1 year, I don't think people will call large number of people to come over for a wedding, and it may not be, a prestigious issue. It must be more of a safety. I would say they will look at it from the safety point of view. So what I look at it is weddings which were 5,000 and 6,000 might reduce to less than even 1,000. And weddings which were 500 and 700 may reduce to even 200, 300, which is very close. And in that case, from our side, we will make sure that, giving a space, I'm going to practice that. Giving a space is I'm not going to look at my space as a venue. This particular venue is more than enough for 100 people. No, I'm not looking at it. I'm going to look at it how well I space out so that there is social distancing even to some extent being practiced even in social gatherings.
Will residency as a preferred venue for the citizens of Coimbatore be keen to come forward with a lot of IPs, intellectual properties, and try to revive the mood of the Coimbatorians in terms of recreation and fun. What is your take on that?
Well, I must say with a bit of humility that the Residency Towers Coimbatore on Avinashi Road is a trendsetter. It is the one which came first on this main road, and for the last 2 decades, over last 2 decades, they have, they have really served, or rather, I would say, given that impression to many of our guests and Coimbatorians, the best venue for any kind of gathering or for any functions or for any even to visit our restaurant for any occasions. So we would definitely, we were practicing good hygiene, I would say, practices in our hotel, and we will continue to do that. We have enhanced it to a further level, and we would definitely make sure that we take care of our guests.
Okay, so what is, as a senior person in this industry, what are the few tips you would like to give to the smaller hotels during this hour of crisis, in terms of managing costs or in terms of administration? What are the few tips which you would like to share for the mid-sized hotels?
So what I would say to the mid-sized hotel, as I earlier mentioned to you, it is HR and it is going to be the materials management, which is and your cash flow. Now, for the mid-seg, for a smaller properties, or as you said, they need to really look at multi-skilled staff. So you cannot have, I'm a front office, I will not do bellboy. I'm a housekeeper, I will not do a bellboy work, or I'm a housekeeper, I will not serve. Or a guy who's serving will say, I will not clean. No, you can't do that. You cannot have too many departments. You need to have a multi-skilled staff. That is one. The other side is you need to have your materials which you buy, you should be able to manage it. You cannot overstock your materials. At the same time, you cannot say that there should be standing orders. Every day I should get 50 liters of milk, or every day I should get like this. No, you can't do that. So now that is again going to be a lot of, that is going to really impact a lot on the business. And over and above that, they should see how they would place their position in the market in terms of their pricing. So if that is, if they are going to focus on these three larger aspects, they would definitely be able to sustain and come out with flying colors later.
I just throw this session open for questions. If there are any questions, we have around 36 viewers on YouTube also, and we have around 50 people watching this program right now. So any questions? Of course, YouTube, you cannot ask questions. You can put it on my chat box. I can ask the questions on your behalf. Any questions, please? The session is open. Would you like to sum it up, Mr. Charles?
Yes, I would, but if there are no questions, I would rather answer some questions with whatever I'm prepared to.
Okay, I've got a question. I've got a question on my chat box. Will Residency be offering any special facilities for event managers? Or especially, I don't know what he's referring to. He's put it as facilities. They're probably talking about some special benefit for event managers.
Yes, case to case, functions to functions, we can definitely do it, but we cannot have a standard saying that, what this. Now, if I'm going to look at an event manager who's going to do the entire event in our hotel, saying the accommodation is taken, the function is in my hotel, then I would look at in giving a better offer than someone who's just doing the function here and putting up somebody in Ibis or any other hotel. So, we would definitely, as a Residency, we would definitely love to work with all of you, with most of you, within the limits that where, as I told you, win-win situation has to be happen.
There's one more question, which is actually posted on the YouTube. The question is, sir, can you help us with small facilities like discounted food for our staffs who work in the event during late nights? We are ready to pay for it. See what they're trying to say is, can you give us chai? Why at a very subsidized cost for the people who are actually working in your place during the late hours of say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock? Can you do some small facilities for us which can help us help the team also out?
Definitely we could do.
Oh, that's a good news. In fact, that's a breaking news. Residency is stepping forward and extending their arm of support for the event managers, for people who are going to work in residency, bring business. I think we are getting some claps also. Okay, thank you for the claps and appreciation. I think this is going to be a trendsetter for all the event managers, and I will make sure this is a breaking news. For people who are going to go and work in residency, they would offer food and chai at a very subsidized, discounted rates. Of course, quality we don't have to. I'm getting a lot of claps. Thank you. I'm getting a lot of claps.
All right.
Okay. Okay. There's one more question from iBrands Events, Mr. Prabhakaran. If we bring business to you, do you give commissions to event managers? It's a straightforward, bang-on question.
See, when it comes to commissions, I must say very clearly, we would work on a different basis. There won't be any outflow from us. Let me put it this way. Now, I would give you an offer. You mark it up, you sell it. We will actually follow a sanctity procedure of not disclosing the offer to anybody. So that is how we can do it. Saying, supposing now if I do a business with you and then to give you the money later, it's called as an outflow, which we have not been doing it so far. So that is why I would not commit on that.
Okay, there's a follow-up. There's a follow-up. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Prabhakaran.
See, sir, from my branch.
Mr. Prabhakaran, your voice is breaking.
I will put the speaker once.
Yeah.
Hello, is it clear?
Yes, very clear, Mr. Prabhakaran. Good morning.
Yeah. See, we do lots of conferences and we bring all the doctors together and we put lots of effort to bring it to any conferences in Coimbatore.
Yes.
That part of time we market for your hotel and we put your brand name in the brochures and all. And some benefits we should get now. Other cities give.
What is that?
Like Hyderabad and all, when we do work with Taj and all, they do give.
You tell me what is that? What do they give so that at least we will have some idea about it?
Okay, I'll come to you personally.
Please, you let me know if it is within our limits. I have to take prior approval from my management in terms of anything that is an outflow or any kind of facility. Now, as Mr. Sudarshan...
Yeah, when we book in large numbers like 100 rooms and all, we take it up.
Yes. Now let me put it this way. Mr. Sudarshan asked me a question that will you give food and tea and coffee at a subsidized rate? It is a call that I can take and can tell you right now across the table that it can happen. But when it comes to commission, when it comes to facilities and all that, it can happen from case to case. Probably your total business which you have given me may go in lakhs. So at that time I can look at it. If it goes below lakhs, I leave the answer back to you.
I can definitely say that Prabhakaran has been one of the veterans of the medical conference industry. He goes up to he's got almost around nearly 2 decades of experience in the medical conferences.
Very good.
And he's been quite silent here, but he does a lot of conferences in Hyderabad and other places, and now he's getting very active in Coimbatore also in terms of medical conferences.
Very good.
Probably that is the reason why he's posted this question.
Very good. I'm so happy. Looking forward to meet you, Mr. Prabhakaran.
Yeah, we'll meet up.
Okay, there's one more question, sir. Would you like to take this question?
Please.
Okay. I think they're talking about Bike and Barrel. They're saying that is there any what is that they mentioned? Okay, I'll just read the question and post it for you once again.
Okay.
Okay, what they're asking is, do you give Bike and Barrel upfront, in the sense that we pay you an X amount of money, and is Bike and Barrel ready for given for a party as a whole?
Yes, I can definitely work out giving Bike and Barrel as a venue for our private functions, which we have already done. In fact, I have done it for one of the topmost families in Coimbatore, where my revenue alone was around 2.75 lakhs per evening. So I will definitely do it. It all depends on clientele, the clientele that you deal with. It's a very sensitive place, and the services that we give for when there is a cocktail dinner or when there is a venue which has got liquor. As event managers, you also have to look at it. It's its business or it's your reputation that is matters. So if you take it, if you're looking at it only as a business and the clientele is not the suitable clientele for you, he may bring for both of us damage.
Okay.
So I have to know if I know that this clientele is good, if you recommend that this clientele would not misbehave, there won't be any issues, there won't be fights, there won't be any arguments and issues like that, definitely I would look at it.
Okay. Okay. Just to add to that question, sir, is the package worked? Is you have any specific packages in hand, or it's worked on a case-to-case basis, like what you said earlier?
Sir, I already have a package, sir. Our minimum package is 1,700 rupees with unlimited drinks and snacks, plus taxes. Taxes are separate. And this is the minimum package that we have. But we can work out, we can make tailor-made menus.
What is the seating capacity of Bike and Barrel, sir?
We can take about seating in the sense, see, everybody is not going to sit down, including the private dining room. We can take up to about 140, 150 people in comfortably.
Yeah, that's again big news. 150 people in Bike and Barrel. I think a lot of things can be worked out accordingly.
Yeah.
Any other questions, team? Okay, I think we are bang on time, and we decided 40 minutes. We have exceeded by 3 minutes. And thank you so much, sir. It was seamless, precise, and I think there is a breaking news also. So we will definitely post this with your. Of course, you have gone on live. That Residency is giving an extended support to all the event managers and of course, their team members by offering them hospitality at rock bottom rates. Thank you,
hospitality, sir. No, I would correct. I would say hospitality with a heart, and we will work with each and every wedding planners and event managers with the concept of a win-win situation where both of us succeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure having you on this show. And and you would like to sum up, please?
Yes. First of all, let me thank Mr. Sudarshan of Mark 1 and all the viewers who had come in. And thanks to all of you for making a time during this period to listen to my voice. And we as Residency, we value everybody. We value our guests. We value our staff. And it's been last 3 years, we've been practicing the hospitality with a heart. So that's a wish we do win. So we have been practicing social distancing for quite a long time. So we will definitely take care, and I'm sure we can work together.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And for people who are live on YouTube, you can post your questions, and we can even still take it offline with Mr. Charles. I will send it to him on mail and get you the replies, whatever is required. And I would also be sharing all of you the link, so that in turn you can send this link to all the people concerned who have not been able to make it because it was a short notice. I do understand a short notice, but please do send this link across to all the event fraternity, so that people get to more know about the property, about the various services, and the support which they are given, always been giving to us. So please do send it to all the event fraternity also. Thank you so much, guys, and see you tomorrow for the next session. And thank you, Mr. Charles, once again. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.